Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with Shanks versus Nico Robin. Shout out to my buddy Ian for letting me try his Shanks deck. Yeah, I'm building this deck. This deck is very fun and yeah, I just had so much fun playing it. Also, sorry if the commentary is not really there. I am a little bit sick right now, so yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the game. And again, sorry about the camera angle. I love playing at this store, but I just cannot win. So we get a Dawn and pass turn to Robin. If you don't know what Robin does, they have Banish on their leader, which is very scary. So we're gonna get our 3 Dawn. There it is, 3. And not really much we can do. We have some good cards in hand, but at this point in the game, not much, so we are just going to swing the 8, the aggressive 8, and get down one of Robin's life. Hopefully we'll be able to counter out of most of the Robin swings. I feel like the best way that I've personally found to play against the Nico Robin deck is to counter out of leader swings, if possible, and take the other character swings. So we give them the Yasop there for 1, and they end up playing the beautiful Kikinojo. And with 5 Dawn, hopefully we'll be able to do something. Ideally, you guys will be able to see my hand a little bit better than I can while I am doing the voiceover. I'm thinking the best bet, I've got the Lucky Roo in hand, and that is really solid. It's a great way that I have to potentially get rid of that Kikinojo before I drop down to 3 life so they can heal. I swing 6, they give me the 2k in the Capone, and we go ahead and tap 4. Lucky Roo, I think, is such a great blocker, really makes this deck super good. And yes, we pass off the turn after dropping the Lucky Roo down. Let's see, depending on what my opponent plays, and they are, if one thing I forgot to mention, they have Banish. They also can discard a card with trigger to ramp, so they are ramping pretty fast throughout this game, and that definitely can be pretty scary. I think this is my buddy Bread, and I think that he's the highest character he has in his deck is 7 Mom, I think he said was part of his top end, but they end up dropping the blocker Saul, and yep, we go ahead and block the 7k swing with Lucky Roo, and end up trashing Kikinojo before we get down to 3 life, so they could hurt us with the heal ability there. And now we're getting into the higher Dawn, and I think that in my experience of playing with Shanks and playing against Shanks, Shanks has a really big top end. I don't know if you guys can hear Vi, but she agrees. We've got, you know, the 10 cost Shanks, the 8 cost Dragon, 8 cost Rayleigh, the other 10, the 06 10 cost Shanks, I believe. So yeah, lots of top end. So we are going to go ahead and play Yasop. Yasop is going to make our leader a 6k throughout this turn and our opponent's turn, which is really solid. And we are just going to go ahead and poke 6 at our opponent, and they go ahead and block with the Saul, and we're going to pass with 2 Dawn up. We do have the Red Hawk. In my personal experience, I think in the Shanks build that I will build, I don't think I'm going to include Red Hawk. I think it's a pretty solid card, but I don't feel like it's very necessary in Shanks, in my experience. Of course, please let me know if you guys feel differently. But yeah, so my opponent is going to drop the Nami to pop the Yasop, which is kind of a bummer there. Would have loved to have that extra body on board, but we are going to be able to get some damage in, probably, or even take a hit. I think they are going to go ahead and play down another blocker Saul, if I'm not mistaken. This is an after tournament thing, so they are using proxies, and honestly, they use proxies in the tournament. We don't really care. And yeah, we are going to play down Dragon. We are going to get some aggression. We are going to tap 8 to drop Dragon and put 2 on Shanks. Put 2 on there it is. So we will go 7 into lead, just trying to get some more life down. And I think the biggest thing you have to worry about, and that is it right there, the triggers with Robin discarding cards to ramp off of the or discarding trigger cards to ramp. You know they're running every trigger under the sun. They also run Darashishishi, which I believe, or yeah, I think it's Darashishishi that lets you search for and take 2 cards with trigger. Kind of crazy. So there is the 7 Mom. We are going to go ahead and trash our first life. I think that's lime juice if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so they ended up getting the Capone off the leader hit. So in one hand, our dragon is safe. On the other hand, we didn't get to swing. So we do get the Red Hawk counter. I don't remember what the Red Hawk counter does. I will put Red Hawk up right here if I remember while I'm editing. Which I may not, because this video has got to go pretty quick here. So they end up swinging 7 with lead, which I was going to Rad Beam, but I hate using Rad Beam when I'm that low. So I give him 2 cards, and there's Rayleigh. We love to see Rayleigh here. But yeah, so we get the Red Hawk off of life. Don't remember what the trigger does, but we do top deck the Rayleigh, and Rayleigh's going to be really good to help us just kind of keep a pretty big board. Big board in the fact that our characters are large board characters. So with our 8, we are gonna play Rayleigh, probably I would assume pop Saul, but we'll see. I think this is the first time I've played the Shanks deck in this video, either the first or second. And then yep, so the Rayleigh comes out, and I think we're gonna pop, I feel like we're gonna pop Saul. Yeah, yep. And Robin will pop Saul. We minus Robin by 2, I believe. There we go. Got those nice little counter tokens. We will swing 5 into the Nami there, just to try and get some cards out of hand. See if we want to get some cards out of hand. See if we can clear up their board. See what happens. My opponent taking some time to think. I think they really need yeah, I think they needed the Nami, but I just don't think they can afford to keep it on board. We swing the 9 with the dragon, and let's see, do they get a trigger? It looks like they got a trigger, and they are thinking about it. No trigger, and we go ahead pass turn 2 up for the Red Hawk. And I feel like in this situation, if I'm remembering Red Hawk correctly, not much we can do with Red Hawk here. So we do have 1 for Rad Beam, but at least this way are we gonna Red Hawk? Are we gonna Rad Beam? Who knows? I think Red Hawk is a 4th. It gives you 4k and then kills a 6,000 power, I believe. So while I don't have a current 6,000 power on board, it's not a bad option. And that looks like another, is that another Saul? This camera angle is not good, I'll give you guys that. One of you guys commented that with this table they have range attacks, and yeah, I'm gonna be looking into getting a different type of stand, something a little more less POV, I think. But they end up swinging really aggressively into I think Dragon, and we're gonna go ahead and Shanks ability. We will minus the Saul to Red Hawk and pop it, and plus the Dragon by 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think that math checks out. Oh, there we go. Give him a 2k. So yeah, we are able to KO the blocker as well as, and that's part of the reason I think Red Hawk is nice, because you can combo it with leader effect. But I don't know. I feel like Red Hawk's a good 2 of. I know they're really expensive right now, but I think they're like $4 each. But we end up taking the Robin hit and trashing a Shanks, which that's all right. It's the 06 Shanks, so not the best, not the worst, but it looks like we are probably gonna have a lethal this game. I don't think they have, or this turn, excuse me. I don't think they have a ton of cards in hand, and it's all about just doing the math right. If I want to go ahead and poke a little with leader to try and get some cards out, I feel like in this situation when I've got a lot of big bodies, 7 is a good poke to see if I can get some cards out of hand before I swing. And yep, they give us 2 cards there, and yeah, we are gonna go ahead and we'll swing the really aggressively. I can't do the math that quick. Look, I'm getting sick, so give me a break. But yeah, we go ahead and they end up countering out of that hit, if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit of poor math there. I think if we kept I kept Dawn aside for the Red Hawk, but I think if I kept the just Dawn up for Rad Beam, we would have had counter. What is it, 9, 10, 11, 12k? So yeah, they end up going to 13k with the counter they had in hand, which is crazy. And yeah, they're just trying to figure out how they can, what they could do here. I think we're in a pretty solid spot, unless they drop a blocker. They are going to go ahead and swing aggressively. And yeah, we will go ahead and use Rad Beam to go up and give them the 2k and Otama. Otama, I think, is just such a good 2k. I feel like with Shanks, it's really easy in my experience with, granted, this is like the first time I've played Shanks, pretty easy to forget about leader ability. So they end up just swinging really aggressively. And I think we are trying to decide how to counter out, or if we can, and we will go ahead, counter out, and that is game. So there's Beckman and Ace there. So don't know if I play that game the greatest. Honestly, as I said, this is like my first time playing Shanks, but I'll be building my own deck list. This is my buddy Ian's deck, and it was very fun to play. Thanks to my buddy Braden for letting me play against you. I think at one point he said, "You're just farming me for content," but it's okay. We switched decks and we had a good time. So you'll see this matchup a couple of times. I'll spread it out for you guys though. But yeah, that is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. Helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.